Hello friend, welcome back. So in our previous video we have created one of the class based view, so that is our create blog, and here I added our template, that is our create blog.html, and also I get all that our field, right? And also in our base HTML, into the base HTML I put that one of the URL path that will be our app blog and the create blog. So now if you go to our page, I just refresh it, go to our right block, here you can see it's not totally blank. So here we have to load our form, right? If you want to load that form, we have to load it in our create blog. So into the create blog area, here I want to do, first of all, I want to load our crispy form. Here I want to display that our form with the crispy. So if you want to display that crispy form, I think you already know about it. We have to load that crispy underscore forms and then tags, right? So that will be as a crispy form tags. And then in our blog, that means in our body blog area, I want to do, first of all, I take one of the h22 tag and it should be as a write your blog here. This type of one of the text I want to visible, and then I want to load one of the form. And with the form area, we don't need any class, and also we don't need any action. I just simply remove it. So also from here, it will be as a method, will be as a post, and then I want to load that our form. First of all, let's check this out. I take it as a form. Okay, I take it as a form, and then it will be as a crispy. So it should be as a crispy form will be loaded, and also here we need the CSRF token, and name it as a CSRF underscore token, right? That will be as a CSRF token. And then I want to take one of the button. So I think you already inhabited with this. I name it that button type will be as a submit type. It should be as a submit type, and here we don't need this name. I want to load on the class, and I name it as a btn success, and then btn sm. So this type of one of the class I want to load, and it should be as a published. Okay, it should be as a published. And then our form, and perfect. So now I load our form, and if you now click as a save all, and now from here I pass all that our field should be visible. Now let's check this out. If you now click as a refresh, yes, you can see friend, everything is now perfectly visible. So now if you compare this with our model, into the model here you can see there is our author, the blog title, that is a character field, that is a Slack as a Slack field, that is our blog content, blog image, publish date, and the update date will be hidden. It's automatically saved in our database area. So now if you can see that is all that our authors right now, all that author is visible, and there is our title, there is our Slack, and that is our main body content, and then there is our image, right? And after that there is our publish button. So better I want to do here in our create. So after this, here I will take some of the bracket. Okay, I take some of the bracket, then it should be better. I click as a save all, and now if you refresh it, yeah, now you can see they have some of these spaces, and here you can see there is our button as a published. Perfect. So here we have to now update it. Like here there is our author, so you can see right now it's visible all that author. So here it should be automatically, it should be get which user is already logged in, so automatically it should be get this author name. So here we don't need to visible this author. And also the Slack, here I also want to hide that Slack, because of all Slack will be automatically generated by our title. So whatever the title will put on particular that area, then automatically it will be created this title Slack. Okay, so I will show you, then everything will be more clear to you. So right now I also want to only visible our title, that means our post title, our content, and then image. So for doing this, here I want to actually hide two of this. If you want to hide it, so in our field area, that means in our view, into the view, here you can see I declared that all. For the reasons is actually visible all that our data. So now here I want to make that as a specific. So if you want to make that a specific, like here, first of all I want to visible our field name as a blog title. I want to visible that our blog title. I want to visible that our blog content. So here it should be display our block content, and also I want to visible our block image. Okay, and that Slack will be automatically generated, and automatically it should be saved our which user is posting that block. Automatically it should be get our this author data. So right now I updated our block image. So now let's check this out. If you now click as a save all, and now if you refresh it, now you can see it's now showing as our title, our content, and the images. So now if you want to save this data, so in functional view, I have already discussed about that things with you, what exactly we did. In functional view, we did as a we put one of the if condition, and then the request, and then the method. Right, with this method we pass, first of all check it that is our post method or not, and after that we save it. That means after that we save our form, then we save it. Right, so that is for our function view. But what exactly we have to do in our class view? So right now we are working with the class view, so for the reasons right now we don't need to use it. So for the class view, they have another method as a form valid, so now we will use it in our particular this class area. So for doing this, here I want to create another function. So I want to create another function in particular in our this class based view area. So I name it as a from valid. Okay, I name it as a from valid. Into the from valid area, it should be pass our self. That means 2 parameter. One will be as a self, that means which user actually updated that position, so that will be as a self, and then our which form, that means our form data. So I simply pass our form. And with the form area, here we have to first of all commit this data as a false. I take one of the variable as a block. Okay, as a block object, I name it as a block object. Okay, so with this block object, first of all our this form data, I want to save it. So here, before save it, I have to do some of the work. Because of all, I have to create some of the Slack, and also I have to set our appropriate this user. For the reasons here, I want to make that as a comment. That will be as a commit. Commit will be as a false first. That means it should be hold this data. Okay, so I make that as a commit false, and now I want to take our with this block object. That means here I have already pending this data, and I take this pending data with this block object. Right now with this block object, I want to work like first of all here we have to set our appropriate this user, that means this author. So that is in our model. Into the model area, I name it our as a with the author. So here we have to set it, right? So into the with this object, I want to access our author, and with this author will be which author, which will be set our specific current user author. That means right now I am already logging with the test, so it should be get this current user. So if you want to get that current user, what exactly you have to do? So with this self, with this self here, you have to set your current user, that means your request user. Right, that will be our current user. And then we have to update our Slack. That means whatever the things we'll put in our block title area, automatically I want to create one of the Slack for our this block title. So if you want to do that work, for doing this, I want to take one of the variable as a title. Title, title. Okay, title, and into the title area I take with our pending, that means with our pending form data, I take the things with our block object. So now with this block object, I want to pass our field name. Our field will be as a block title. So now I pass our block title. So then I have to create one of the Slack, right? So now with this block, and then our block object. So with this block object, I want to access our Slack field. So our Slack field, and our Slack field will be I take our block title field and take the things with this variable. And now with this title here, I want to generated some of the Slack. So here they have also one of the function. As a replace. So I want to replace it. So I name it as a replace. And this replace actually pass two argument. One argument which place he want to replace, and into the replace area what exactly the data it should be added. Okay, like here I take another one. I take another one, that will be as a space. That means when this in our title there have any spaces, automatically it should be replace these spaces with our this hyphen. I hope it's very much clear to you, friend. Like here, if you as a Kazi, that means our title, if this title will be as a Kazi and then space Aryan, then this replace function will be work. Is this replace function, this space automatically it should be created this type of one of the slack as a Kazi, and this space is automatically replaced with the hyphen, and then it should be as Aryan. Okay, friend. So I hope it's very much clear to you. So with this replace function, we can do that work. And after that also I want to do after that title. Okay, after that title, when it should be created one of the slack, and after that into the slack area, after that I want to add some of the ID. Then it should be very much interactive. Like if you create for education purpose, I will discuss about that things with you. Like if you URL like as a like Kazi as a Aryan. Okay, so you just put you just create one of the blog, and that is your URL. First of all, your domain name, and then your URL will be just this. Okay, and then if you create the same name with the same name, if you create another blog, then it should be confusing, right? So then it should be create some of the conflicts. So for prevent this, I want to add after this title, I want to add some of the ID. Okay, so it should be automatically generated some of the ID. So for doing this, I want to do they have also another function I want to do. First of all, I want to input it. So I want to input one of the UUID. So with this UUID, it's automatically generated some of the ID. So right now I want to use it. So if you want to use it, so here after this first of all that our spaces will be replaced our hyphen, and then that means the plus. I want to add that plus, and then after this hyphen it should be also added another hyphen, and then plus. Then I also want to add that plus. It should be as our star, and here we have to pass our UUID. That means this UUID, and they have some of the version. Now I want to use it as a UUID 4. Okay, so I want to use it. So I just simply add the things on here. That means what exactly should be happen, friend? As I told you, if you make as a Kazi Aryan, that means right now it should be created as a Kazi hyphen Aryan, and then hyphen, and then some of the ID. Okay, that means that we should be replace it, and then plus. It should be plus added one of the hyphen. So I just added the hyphen, and then our ID. So it should be created that ID. I hope it's very much clear to you, friend. So if you want to check it very clearly, I will show you. Like if you go to our terminal, so into the terminal area, I want to check it. Okay, I want to check it this function, how that function actually work. So here, if you make as a py or the Python, whatever you write, so now I make it as a py, then it should be redirected to our main path area. So here I want to actually check it. So I want to first of all import. I want to import that I have already added on here. That will be as a UUID. I import it. Click as a enter, and now I want to set one of the title. So here I name it. So you can see I name it as a title. So now I want to set one of the title in our block title area. So it should be as a title. So I set one of the title, and I just name the title one of the string value. Okay, I name it as a, and this is a blog post. So this type of one of the title I added. Now click as a enter. So now I want to add one of the slack. So that will be as a slack. Okay, into the slack area I want to pass, into the slack area I want to pass our this total portion. That means this title. Okay, I copy it, and here I paste it. So that means the title and the replace, and now this function. So now how that functionality work for our this title I show you. Now if you click as a enter, now I want to print it. I want to print our this slack. Okay, I want to print our this slack. That means here I take the things with this variable as a slack. Now I want to print it. So now if you click as a enter, yes, now you can see, friend, what exactly is happening. So this, and there have some of these spaces, automatically is added the hyphen, right? And after that post here, you can see it's added that another hyphen, and then with our this UUID 4, it's created this type of one of the ID. Okay, so then it's created this ID for the reasons here I have used it. I hope it's very much clear to you friend right now. So that's how this function actually work. So now I want to save it. After that means with this block object, I want to save. I want to save this. I just added the save, and then I want to return it. I return with our HTTP response. That means HTTP response redirect, and with the reverse, that should be just like that same before. And with the reverse area, I want to pass it to our home page. So for the home page, I have already created that as the index. Maybe let's check this out. If you go to our main project, go to that URL. So for the home, I name it as the index, right? So now I want to actually use it. So into the view area, when it should be done, then it should be redirected to our index page. I hope it's very much clear to you friends. So now I just click the save all. So now we have to create our list page. That means whatever the blog will put from here in, it should be redirected to our home page, and to the home page area it should be displayed with a different way. Okay, so how can do that work better? I will continue this process in our next video. I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.